Welcome to the Football Show on PLZ Soccer, sponsored by Arnold Clark. Delighted to have your company. I'm Peter Martin, and with me in the studio tonight, Friday evening, it's Alan Ruff and Barry Ferguson, looking back over the Europa League games, and of course we'll look ahead to the weekend fixtures and some of the news emerging today. Yeah, lots to talk about. Ruffy and Fergie here with me now. He's been here long enough that we've started to give him a nickname, Ruffy. That means he's definitely staying with us unless a better job offer comes up. But nevertheless, we're going to get into the meat and bones of last night. You can tell why he's got a wry smile on his face. He walked into the studios today and said, "Rangers for the Europa League." That's how confident he is. Well, let's look back at the evidence of last night.
Rangers made it a memorable night at Ibrox as they beat Rapid Vienna 3-1. The hosts started brightly but were shocked after a controversial Rapid Vienna goal late in the first half. Rangers responded immediately, Alfredo Morelos scoring 2 minutes later. The tension built in the second half before James Tavernier dispatched an 84th minute penalty to give Rangers the advantage. Morelos got his second with the last kick of the game after great work from Daniel Candeias, leaving Gerrard's side top of their group.
Yeah, great result last night for Rangers. I even thought the Rapid Vienna goal should have been chalked off for being offside, Barry, but what did you make of the game?
Yeah, I thought the first half was pretty even, Peter, if I'm being honest. I thought Rangers kicked into gear when Rapid scored the goal, which we all think should have been, well, no doubt in my mind, it should have been disallowed, but they just got to go on with it. But do you know what? It was a perfect response from Rangers. 40 seconds later, they get a goal, which I thought was a very good goal. Great cross in for Tavernier, which was lacking on Sunday against Livingston. But Morales was there to finish it off, and they got in at half time, level, and I thought they came out the second half and they had the bit between their teeth, and I thought that's probably the best 45 minutes I've seen Rangers. And what helped them as well, I thought the crowd, I was in the house watching it, but you could sense the crowd was phenomenal, got behind them, and I think these players have just got to realise after that game, look, if we put that sort of performance in, show that dedication and dig and desire, whatever you want to call it, that crowd will get behind you and it will kick you on. They're like a 12th man, there's no doubt about it. But I thought second half, Rangers thoroughly deserved it.
Yeah, I've got to highlight one moment in it, Ruffy, which I thought, oh, well done to you. Much maligned at times, Daniel Candeias, but the back flick to give Morelos the chance for the counter-attack was just sublime.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, what you see in him is maybe inconsistency. You know, when he's on fire, you know, he can go by people for fun. He's got that wee bit, a special bit in him, and yeah. But again, as Barry said, the only way that these players improve is with the confidence of playing. I've always said that, and Barry's probably agree with me, playing in front of 50,000 people demands that you perform every week. You know, a lot of them want to be able to do that, but the more games they play, the more home games they play, and the more results they get like that, the more confident you are when you go out, and that's when you perform and you turn it on, and you can afford to do these wee flicks.
Yeah, no surprise that Steven Gerrard described it as the best performance of his reign since he arrived as the manager. Yeah,
certainly for me, the second half, as I said, I've got to be honest, I thought the first half was pretty even. Technically they were a good team. They could obviously take control of the ball and pass it about. And as I say that, I don't think Rangers kicked into gear until we actually went a goal down. And for me, I sat back, I was a bit surprised, obviously the goal being allowed. But listen, it went in and the referee gave it. But the response, it was the response that it delighted me.
Yeah.
Right back into the game straight away. So that showed me that, listen, they have got a bit of character. It was questioning Sunday by the manager. And also the media, but listen, they've responded in the right way, and that's all you can ask. Because I know myself, I've played in a lot of European games, and they're difficult games because when you come up against European teams, they're always technically good players.
Yeah.
But I've got to be honest with you, take my hat off to them. I thought the second half, they were different class.
Yeah, and with that, the manager probably has got them in the dressing room and says, that's great. And then the next day he's probably got them in and says, right, that's great, let's calm down now and just get back to domestic issues, and keep a level head. And then Joe Worrell comes out and says, if we play like that, we can win the league. So cranks up the pressure right away.
Peter, I think that's about enjoy the victories, but I think they get back into Murray Park today, they do their warm down or whatever they do and at Rangers just now. And that's what worries me about people coming out. Don't listen, if it's a good performance, can they now take it into a major, a big game for me on Sunday? You don't want to be coming out and saying we're this and that. Listen, keep it in-house. Listen, good performance. Now let's go and take it into the league, because we were disappointing last Sunday. Now we need to show that we can come back and get a result in the league.
Yeah, OK. From the highs of Ibrox to the lows of Salzburg. Celtic were on their travels, started well, but it finished poorly.
Celtic lost 3-1 to Red Bull Salzburg despite Odsonne Edouard getting the hoops off to a dream start with a neat finish in the second minute. Celtic held out till the second half but then collapsed, with the Austrian champions capitalising on poor defending to score 2 goals in 6 second-half minutes. James Forrest then saw red for denying a goal-scoring opportunity, and Salzburg sealed the win from the resulting spot kick. It was a very impressive display from Salzburg, but a bad night for Brendan Rodgers' team.
Yeah, defeat. It certainly started well, Ruffy. I was surprised by the start from Celtic, and then, of course, the old familiar problems surfaced again.
Yeah, I think the second half... I think Celtic supporters have seen it so many times this season. Defensively, they don't have the ability to stem a flow. They don't. I think the good sides can, when they go behind, they be able to sit in, spoil the game, make it very, very difficult for the opposition to score. But this Celtic team can't do that. They don't get any protection at all, the back four, and they're losing bad goals at this level. Let's not kid ourselves on. This team are top of the league, that they're not a bad side, but I never thought Celtic were going to take anything out of that at all.
What do you mean by no protection? Because, apart from midfield that you obviously want to protect the back four, the back four are continually making just basic mistakes. I mean, Lustig, for me, has made the same mistake in 3 European games, Ruffy. He's standing off, hoping that the ball doesn't hit his hand. Meanwhile, the ball's in the 6-yard area, and it's a stonewall certainty it's going to be cut back.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, they don't seem to have a leader back there. They don't have somebody who's organising, and it's a failing, because there are 2 young boys in that defence, who are having to handle these games. But I was thinking when Scott Brown's there's a wee bit of protection, he sort of stops the ball getting to them. But last night it was evident there was nobody there to do that job.
Yeah, OK. I don't even think Brendan Rodgers had any excuses about the game.
Where we can be better. And just analyse and think where we can be better in our next game in the competition. But in football, very quickly you get the chance to work again. So like I say, the players will recover. They'll be disappointed, like we all are. The best team won. We done okay in the first half last night. We didn't deal with the ball well enough technically, under pressure. So when you do that, and then you maybe make some mistakes defending, then of course you can get punished against a very good team. So it was as simple as that, and we'll analyse and then use that as a lever to move on and can we improve in our next game.
Interestingly enough, somebody said in commentary, how many points do you think it'll need in the group to actually qualify? I think this group might need 9 points to get second, not first. I think you might need 9 points, and that would be, for me, Celtic would have to get 3 home wins from somewhere. And I'm not sure right now, Ruffy. You could go back all the way to the summer and that debacle right at the end of the transfer window. But if they are going to exceed expectation, then I think they need to get 9 points. What do you think? Yeah,
well, they haven't proved away from home, unfortunately, that they can pick up 3 points. Leipzig and Salzburg have proved that they can go away from home and get 3 points. And that's a bad thing for Celtic, because obviously, as you say, it puts you the pressure on at home. You need to get 3 points. But I think they will have to get something away from home, particularly with the easy win that Leipzig had last night.
Are you talking about getting 3 home wins and something away from home?
I think 10 points is I think they would have to try and get to 10 points because I think the other teams will pick up points.
I think you might have a point. I'm being kind to them saying 9 points. That's with others dropping points.
If I'm being honest, Peter, I think they will win their home games.
Yeah.
I do. Listen, they're not playing well. We all know that. But when you've got that crowd behind you, a lot of these players and these teams, I know some of them are big teams, but they'll not play in a kind of atmosphere like Celtic Park. As long as they go out and you get in the team's faces, they'll not enjoy coming to Celtic Park. But I'm with Ruffy. I think they will need to get a point away from home. But to me, it looks as if they're not going to get that.
Okay, we were mentioning Stephen Gerrard would have been saying to his players, look, keep a lid on it, and Joe Worrell comes out and says if we play like that, we'll win the league. And then, after a 3-1 loss, Yusuf Malumbu comes out at today's press conference and says this.
There's no worry at all about the league table, you know, because once we play against Hurt and Ibs, once we beat them, we're gonna be in the top. I just came here to win titles, you know. That's why Celtic does every single year, you know. And there is no chance that we're not gonna win anything this season.
Okay, if I was the Hearts manager, Craig Levine, and the Hibs manager, I'd roll a wee television into the dressing room and I'd just keep playing Yusuf Malumbu when we beat Hearts and Hibs.
That's exactly what I would do. I would do, just as you says, I would be like and saying, look, this is what this man says about you, and that's the only motivation you need.
Yeah.
It worries me when players come out and say that. Listen, just be respectful, and whatever you want to say it in between four walls. Don't give the opposition any chance of having a pop at you or whatever. Just keep it indoors.
Yeah. When you were younger and you were obviously at Rangers, when you come out as the captain, was there a point where you made a mistake? I get told. Was there a point where you were honest?
Yeah. Listen, you've got to be honest to a certain extent, but you've got to watch what you say. So when I was captain, I was obviously I got made captain at a young age, Peter. So, but the experienced ones would grip me before I went into the press conference and says, "Listen, don't give the opposition anything. Don't give them anything. Just be respectful, and that's all you need to do." But nowadays, as you say, you're seeing Big Worrell coming out and saying they're going to win the league and whatever. Listen, it was a great performance last night, but keep it.
Yeah. Keep a lid on it.
Keep a lid on it. And same way Malumbu, he's coming out and saying, once we beat Hearts and Hibs, for me it's been a bit disrespectful because Hearts and Hibs are decent teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And once he feels the crunching tackle in the first game at Tynecastle, he'll know all about it. OK, let's look at the fixtures for the weekend after dealing with the Europa League, and lots to look forward to. Aberdeen, St Mirren, Dundee, Kilmarnock, Hibs against Hamilton, Motherwell, Livingston, and then on the Sunday, of course, Rangers against Hearts and St Johnstone against Celtic. Apologies for the Hearts fans who are thinking, where's the S on the end of that? But it is Hearts. Aberdeen against St Mirren. First of all, the Dons, Derek McInnes has mentioned that he's happy that Fan Power has eventually won over the SPFL for the semi-finals, but he, like so many of the Aberdeen contingent, are far from happy that Scott McKenna has indeed picked up a 2-game ban for his challenge.
Yep, we'll go back. We had this conversation at the start of the week.
Yeah, which camp were you in, by the way? I just had to check.
I was in the camp that it was a booking and it was a free kick.
Yeah.
I know he was high, but I don't think he's been into...
No, intent's not
no,
the
but
point.
Listen, I'm not...
Intent,
we'll go back to the first game of the season at Pittodrie, what happened with the Rangers player. That's caused a problem.
Yeah.
And I see why Derek's unhappy with the situation that McKenna's got a 2-game ban. I don't know, it worries me. It worries me.
OK, Ruffy?
Yeah,
last word on it for you.
I don't think it was a red card either, and I think if we cast my mind back to Craig Gordon coming out at the edge of his box and having somebody to I thought that was just as same thing.
Red card.
Yeah,
get him off. Yeah. No, well, what do you want? Do you want me to mince about? Scott McKenna's a red card. I'm gobsmacked at you two.
No, I'm saying.
Gobsmacked. He tackled him on his hip. I mean, how low do you want him just maybe to catch his ankle? He caught him on the hip.
But do you think he deliberately?
It doesn't matter if he deliberately. He still took him out. Whether it's inside or outside the box, a free kick, but it's definitely. I mean, it's reckless.
That is a reckless challenge. You just mistimed it. I look at it. I've seen a lot worse.
That's not the issue either. It doesn't matter. I've seen a lot worse. I saw the best challenge ever was Graham Souness against the Steaua Bucharest, where he literally put his studs right down the guy, and I don't think the guy had kids after it.
I actually seen that. One of my mates sent it through as a text message, and I seen that.
But that's not any excuse for saying
listen, I'm not changing my view. It's a yellow card.
That's exactly it. Stick to your view, by the way. Ruffy.
I agree with Barry. I'm sticking with Barry.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care. It's a red card all day long. But you can have your say as well, because that's what the show's all about. It's opinion. It's great. We talk about football. We give you the opinion here. So from Aberdeen to St Mirren, we've got to listen. I might as well tell you, as we give our predictions, the head-to-head at the moment is incredible between all three of us. I cannot believe where we find ourselves. Have a look at this, Ruffy. You can't separate us. It's 58 across the board, neck and neck. It's nip and tuck all the way. Barry forged out in front. Then you had a great wee run. And, of course, I'm just sitting there on the inside waiting for you two to show me the gap. And then, boom, like the first 3 years, Ruffy, I'll be off and running.
Yeah, well, nobody for the start of the season has come up with 17, 18 points. It's always been around about 7 or 8 just now. So I'm just waiting on somebody, getting a large amount of points to draw away.
I'll blame Leanne. He obviously gave my predictions last Friday while I was away, so I'll have a wee dig at Leanne.
Okay.
About that.
Actually got you 3 points more than what you got.
I know. That's exactly what I was thinking. Leanne did okay by you, son. Dundee against Kilmarnock. If he saved his job last week, and we've already discussed it shouldn't be game by game, I think he's got a tough game this week at Dens Park, Neil McCann.
This is the big one. They had a good result. Listen, they needed a bit of luck on their side last week. Aki said a few off the bar and missed a sitter for 2 yards. So this is a big one for Dundee. And they're playing against a Kilmarnock team, for me, who are one of the most organised teams in the league. So it's going to be a tough one for Neil McCann's team. But listen, he'll need characters tomorrow. They need to show that it wasn't a one-off last week. As simple as that.
Okay, Hibs against Hamilton. Now, this is an interesting one because it's the return of James Keating to Hibernian as a Hamilton Accies player. And I thought he was very honest in the press conference when he said he was battling against depression. He was at Hibernian and, eventually when he joined Dundee United, he probably should have stayed at Hibs, but when he joined Dundee United, there was a long journey up to the St Andrews training. He's picking up injuries. All these things prey on you. You don't think, it doesn't matter about the money. If you don't feel right in your head, you can go on that slippery slope, that downward spiral, Barry. And I thought James was very honest.
Yeah, but I like the honesty. Listen, don't get me wrong, it must be difficult to come out and be honest. I mean, being a professional, I like it. Do you know what? I just hope more people come out, because there is a few guys in the professional game that are suffering with depression. And I read it, probably the wrong decision to leave Hibs. I always liked him as a player. And I was surprised because it never really worked out at Dundee United, and obviously now we know why the reason, because he was suffering from depression. But listen, he's got to move to Hamilton, and I'm hopeful that it works out right for him and he gets back playing football.
Yeah, absolutely. Here. Motherwell against Livingston. Of course, Stephen Robinson's been talking about the fact that they need to get their act together.
We've played 7 games. Of course, it's not the start we wanted. Fine lines in football. Goals change football matches. We're 1-0 up and playing very well at Killy. We miss a penalty, and when things aren't going for you, that's what happens. We've had probably 4 or 5 decisions in the last lot of games that have affected the result, but there's things that we can do, and a lot of things we can do better. There's a positivity around the place because we know we're not far away.
Well, I can see signs in the Motherwell team, Ruffy. They went through to Tynecastle and gave a good account of themselves, albeit they lost in the end.
Yeah, I've said that right from the start of the season. That any of the games that I've saw highlights, they've always been in the game. They've never been turned over. I think last week was a perfect example. Winning 1-0 and then getting a penalty to go 2-0 up. You would have think at 2-0 up they'd be able to see the game out, but they missed it, and obviously we know what happened in the end. So I think you'll be saying to the players, look, keep creating chances and take the chances, and particularly when they're at home I don't think Livingston can keep up the form that they're showing, so I'm going to go for Motherwell.
Yeah, okay, before we get all the predictions out, we'll look to the Sunday games at Ibrox. It's going to be a cracker. It's Rangers against Hearts. Can Hearts come to Glasgow and win? Is this the team at the top of the table that can do that? For me, it's so close to call this one. I've edged and leaning towards Rangers because of the midweek again, but Hearts, if they're going to be genuine title contenders, if they come away from Ibrox with a point or more, everybody's going to have to sit up.
Yeah, they need to come along the M8 into Glasgow and show, right, listen, we mean business. And they need to come to places like Ibrox and Celtic Park, for instance, and win games of football.
You think they can?
Do I think they'll win on Sunday, or do I think in the future?
Well, they're talking about it right now. He's saying we can
do you know what?
win.
It just shows you the confidence that's going through that squad of players just now. Because they've had a fantastic start, and don't get me wrong, they've surprised me with the amount of changes they made. But do you know what? When I've watched them, they've impressed me. They've got some good young players, but it's a good mix. They've got good experience and a good mix of youth in there as well. Do I think they'll come through to Ibrox and win? No, I don't. I think Rangers must get a serious boost off that second half performance last night. So I think it's going to be a close one.
Yeah.
But I think Rangers will just edge it.
Okay, St Johnstone against Celtic. Celtic have time and time again been able to bounce back after European disappointment this season.
Yeah, they didn't win as convincingly up at St Johnstone as we all thought they were. St Johnstone, we know on the day, particularly at home, can make it very, very difficult for you. And I think, again, you know, some of the Celtic players will be maybe a wee bit tired, you know, with the travelling, and the result will still be in the back of their minds as well. So they're on just a wee bit more added pressure to go to these grounds and get the points.
Yeah, okay, before we get our predictions, I must just say well done to Martin Boyle, called up to the Australia squad for their training camp. Let's keep our fingers crossed that he does indeed get a chance to represent Australia. He's been absolutely superb over the last couple of seasons and well worthy of notice at international level. Let's look to the games then and get the predictions on these matches, Ruffy. Aberdeen against St Mirren. I'm going for a Dons win convincingly.
Yeah, I thought Aberdeen should have taken something out of the Celtic game last week. I'm going to go for Aberdeen to win 2-0.
Barry.
Yep, convincingly for me, Aberdeen.
Okay, Kelly to beat Dundee.
Yep, I'm the same. I think it'll be a tight one, but I think Kelly will just nick it.
Tight one for me, one each.
Oh, a draw there. That's the difference between me and Barry on this one. Ruffy hopes to sneak ahead in the head-to-head. Hibs comfortably at Easter Road.
Yep, I'm with you.
Yep, 2-0 for me.
Yep, okay. Ruffy there, obviously speaking in Edinburgh soon and sticking with the Hibbies for day 5054 on the show. Motherwell against Livingston. I can see this one being a draw.
Yep, I've went a draw. I think this will be a close one. Two teams that are pretty similar, physical
Ruffy?
teams.
Motherwell win for me.
Oh, Motherwell win for you as well. Okay. And the big ones. Rangers, I think, are going to edge it, Ruffy.
I'm going to go Hearts 4-0.
What? You see his face there.
No, I'm going to go for... If Rangers don't take 3 points in this one after, as Barry said, that midweek result, the fans will go there high as a kite, and so should the players. I'm going to go Rangers 2-0.
Yeah, I think Rangers will win it.
Okay then. And the last one, St Johnstone Celtic. Celtic to edge it by a goal, Ruffy.
A goal for me. I'm going to go 2-1 Celtic.
Yeah, I think Celtic will win.
Yep, okay then. Great to have Barry with us on the Friday. Always tell when Rangers are doing well. He bounces into the studio. It's Rangers for the Europa League. If they win at the weekend, it could be Rangers for a treble. Who knows? Thanks for watching. Bye.
Look, I never really experienced racism at school. Kids weren't racist to me. I had lots of friends with lots of different backgrounds, but I recall racism. I recall racism in the streets I walked, in terms of being in the city centre and having glass bottles thrown at us or racist terms shouted at us, or walking down the streets, certain streets that you knew not to go down. You knew there were racist incidents. But my earliest memory of racism would be probably when I was 12, 13, leaving home to go to school one morning, seeing a strange-looking envelope on the front door, picking it up. I had the newspaper cut-out letters on it, opened the letter up, seeing a picture mocked up of my mum tied to a chair with 2 guns pointed to her head, and it had the headline on it, "Bang Bang, that's all it takes," and it was a letter from Combat 18 to send a message to me and my family to get out of politics, to mind their own business and stay quiet and shut our mouths.